Welcome back to the Python Foundation. So in this session, we'll explore the final core data structure, the dictionary. So one of Python's most flexible and powerful tools. So we have already looked at lists for ordered sequences, tuples for fixed sequences, sets for unique and unordered collections. Now it's time to store named data, and that's where dictionaries come in. So what is a dictionary? So a dictionary is a collection of key value pairs. So each value is accessed using a key, not an index. So think of it like a real dictionary. So what happens? You look up for a word, or in other words, key, to get its definition or its meaning. In other words, it's the value. You are going to look up for a word, that's the key, to get its meaning or the value. That's what a dictionary is all about. Now let's look at what is the syntax of a dictionary. So let's write in syntax, my dictionary, my dict is equal to, open bracket, key 1, right? So and I'm going to put value 1, key 2, value 2, right? So this is what a key value pair in a dictionary. Let's write and dictionary name student is equal to, open bracket, name, let's mention it as Sarvesh, and let's say age as 36, and let's say course is Python fundamentals, right? So this is the student information. Now what do we have here? So we have defined a dictionary. How did we define a dictionary? So we have given curly bracket open and close, and we had a key value pair in it. Key is the name, value is the Sarvesh. Key is age, value is 36. Key is the course, and the value is the fundamentals. Now let's look at different features that we have. Is it ordered? Yes, dictionaries are ordered since Python 3.7 version, right? So is it changeable? Yes, it's changeable. The key and value can be changeable. Does it allow duplicates? No, right? So the keys must be unique in nature, right? So I cannot have multiple keys with name in it. You can add multiple values in this name. However, the key can be only one unique value, right? So these are indexed by the keys, right? So these are not indexed by numbers. I cannot give student of 0, right? So instead I should give student of name. Student of name is Sarvesh, right? So this is how we are going to access this value. How to access and modifying dictionary data, right? So this is how I can access and modify. How will I get safe access using this get method. There's another way I can get this value, student dot get, right? So to get, now let's give the grade, right? So and NA. If at all there is no grade, if there is no grade that's present in the student dictionary, then return as NA. If it has the name, do not return as NA, return the name as it. So that's what this get method, right? So how will we mention this as? This is like safe access using get, right? Safe access using get. This is how I can use this get command, get method, and I can get. How to update, right? So how to update, let's say add or update a value. How to add or update a value in dictionary? Let's give student grade. I did not have a grade. I'm going to give a grade A. Now I want to update the age. No, the age is not 36. I'm going to update it as what, 27. Now let's see how does the dictionary, dictionary values what it has. Now let's print student grade, and let's also print the student age, right? So okay, by mistake I've given a round bracket. We should be very careful. We should be giving a square bracket for indexing, right? So since this is indexing is with the keys here. So I've indexed it and I've got the value. So that's how I can add or update a value. Now how to delete a key? Delete a key. How to delete a key? Now I'm going to say delete student grade. I don't want a grade, right? So now let's print student and grade, right? So I'm getting a key error. The grade is not present here. What are other ways to do it? I'm going to give student dot pop. I'm going to give student pop of age, right? So even though it displays here, it has removed from this dictionary student. Now let's print student and let's give age, right? So this will throw in key error age. Because age is not present here, I've used this pop command to remove this key out of this dictionary, right? So now let's look at the dictionary. Now I have the name and the course. Now how will I loop through the dictionary? Looping through dictionaries. How will I loop through the dictionaries? Now for key in student, I'm going to print the key in it. So I have the name and I have the course. Now let's loop through the keys and values. Now let's mention this as loop through keys and values. This one is looping through keys. Now how will we loop through the keys and values? So for key comma value in student dot items, right? Now let's print key comma, right? So let's give a colon here, comma values, right? So here I was iterating through only the keys. Now we'll loop through the keys and values, name and course. So both the key and value are stored in this key and value variable. And when I'm iterating, you can see it here. Now I want to loop through the values. How will I loop through the values? So for value in student dot values. Now let's print value. Right. So these are the values, Sarvesh and Python fundamentals. So these are the values that I can see when I'm looping through this dictionary student. Alright. Now what are some common dictionary methods? Right. So these are the common dictionary methods that we can see. Dict.keys. This will return all the keys. Dict.values. This will return all the values. Dict.items. This will return the key value pairs. Dict.getKey. Dict.update. Dict.pop, dict.clear will clear all the items. Right? So these are some examples that we can see. Now let's take up an example. Employee, I need to add all the employees information. Employee will have an ID, right? So the employee ID, I'm giving it as 101. I'm giving an employee name. I'm going to give it as Anita, right? So I'm going to give a role. Role is an data analyst, right? So and I'm going to give the skills. The skills are, I'm going to mention it as Excel, SQL, Python. Okay. So now these are the skills, right? So now let's print skills. So what are the skills here? So employee and skills of one, right? So now you can see if I have to retrieve only the skills out of this, employee skills, I want the index value 1. So SQL alone is printed, right? So this is how all the employee information is stored inside an dictionary. Employee, so these are the keys, ID, name, role, skills, and so these are the values that we can find it inside a dictionary employee. Now I can create something called as a nested dictionaries. Nested dictionaries. What are nested dictionaries? Are nothing but I'm going to store a dictionary within a dictionary. I'm going to give students is equal to, right? So I'm going to give A001, right? So and I'm going to give the name as Karthik, okay, and the marks code is 85, right? So and I'm going to give the second number A002, right? So and I'm going to give a name as Divya, right? So and I'm going to give the marks code is 90, right? Now this is the dictionary students within which I have multiple dictionaries within it, right? So A001 has this name and A002 has another name, right? Now how will I retrieve it? Creating is okay. Students, and I'm going to say A002, right? So and I'm going to say the marks secure, right? So what's the marks secure for this ID A002, right? So now I should typically get 90 out of this. Yes, 90, right? So this is how a dictionary is created within a dictionary. What are some use cases of a dictionary? I'll use a dictionary whenever you need to associate and label with a value. For example, like names to scores, when IDs to details, when you want to look up values quickly by custom keys, when you want to structure the JSON like data, that's where you create dictionaries. Now, I want you to do some homework, or I would call it as a practice challenge. So I want you to create a dictionary of your 3 favorite books. The keys are the book titles. The values are the author names. So what are the tasks that you can do? You want to print all the books and authors, add a new book, remove one book, check if a specific book is in the dictionary. So this is a practical challenge that I want you to do. Now, if I have to compare, right? So if I have to compare the dictionary versus the list versus set versus a tuple, right? So how will I compare it? So you can see here the list has the square bracket. Is it ordered? Yes, it is ordered. How is it ordered? Is it ordered by index? Is it mutable? Yes, it is mutable. Can it have duplicates? Yes, it can have duplicates. And for tuple, I'm going to have a round bracket. Only difference between the list and the tuple, it's not mutable. And sets, I'm going to use a curly bracket, right? So these are not ordered, these are not indexed. However, it's mutable and duplicates cannot be present. When I bring in a dictionary, I'm going to have a curly bracket with a key and values present in it. Is it ordered? Yes. For the latest version, if I'm going to use a version more than above 3.5, above 3.7, then the dictionaries are ordered. How is it indexed? It's indexed by the values, mutable, and the duplicates cannot be present here, right? So therefore, in this session you learned about dictionaries, Python's key value powerhouse. You now know how to create and modify dictionaries, access data using keys, work with nested dictionary structures, apply dictionaries in real world scenarios, right? So with this you have now completed the core data structures of Python. Thank you.